teams, get ready to go. Shoot, promo, shoot, promo. Stating your opinion, are you serious, bro? Shoot, promo, shoot, promo. Talking about some wrestling for just a little bit. Shoot, promo, shoot, promo. Tagged explicit so we can say shit. Fucking shoot, promo, shoot, promo, shoot, promo, shoot, promo. Fight for your life, wait, not your life just for a prize. There is no prize, just fucking fight. Do it, do it, do it, do it. Shoot, promo, shoot, promo, shoot, promo, shoot, promo, shoot, promo, shoot, promo. I shot the promo, but I do not shoot the deputy. Shoot, promo, shoot.
Good evening, good afternoon, morning, wherever you are in internet land, and welcome to a very special edition of Shoot Promo, the only wrestling game show in the world. I am your host, co-writer and former promo champion, Cobra T, Washington. We look to wrap up our first successful season of Shoot Promo with a bang by putting together some very special teams, featuring the best of our best, taking on a trio of outsiders. Yes, another 3 teams have banded together to discuss, dissect, and dilute the past week of wrestling, so why don't we have a look and see who these teams are. First off, we have the team calling themselves the Shoot Promo No Stars, featuring 3 of our top brass from this season. First, the man who may or may not be completely naked at this time, OmegaBR.
Hello.
Hello. Second.
That's all I got this week.
Very, very prepared, man. I'm proud. Second, a man who has never been a Genetti in his life, WindowDump.
You know, a year ago, wrestling was this weird thing that my roommate watched, and now look at me. I'm on a wrestling podcast, pretty much.
And we are glad to have you. And finally, their team captain, a man who bears a disturbing resemblance to an inflated Heath Slater, and the dance skills to match, RedMachineD.
Level 15 cleric. Hashtag heal.
And next, our outsiders. Originally, we were scheduled to have Bryan Alvarez on this show, but unfortunately, he got really drunk and really hungover and no-showed. So, in order to get this full experience, we decided to replace him with a Scotsman. Please welcome Mintzs!
Grab your tackle, you've pulled a dyslexic Mexican.
And our next member of the team, by the way, they're calling themselves the Shoot Promo No-Shows. The man behind Botchamaniac with 198 videos and about as many accounts on YouTube, Maffew.
Good evening.
Good evening. And finally, their team captain. If I am the brain behind Shoot Promo, Mintzs is the heart, Terra is the memory, Punker is the assorted lady parts, and RMD is the stomach, then this man is most certainly the voice of Shoot Promo, the fountain of bollocks himself, Reddington!
I only have one thing to say. It's always been a fantasy of mine to be a team captain for 2 wrestling personalities, but it hasn't come true tonight. Damn you, Bryan!
And finally, as always, our live studio audience. Say hello, audience.
Hello.
Is it me you're looking for?
So, if you haven't been listening to our 11 other episodes, here are the rules. The teams will attempt to answer questions about wrestling as well as taking part in some more improvisational rounds. Along the way, they will be awarded points for being funny, positive, and original, whilst having points deducted for moaning, groaning, and making sweeping generalized statements. Points will be awarded and deducted with accompanying sounds. For example, if a team says something funny, they'll be awarded 1 point, and they'll hear this noise. Oh, God. Why aren't you dinging? Not dinging.
Is the noise you going, oh, God?
Hey! Yes. See this? That's if they say something funny, which will never happen. And if they say something a little bit more funny, then they'll hear this noise for 2 points. And if they say something hilarious, they'll be awarded 3 points, which sounds like this. But of course, if they start drifting too far off topic or say something terribly unfunny, then I'll deduct points like this. and be afraid. I am very Pac-Man happy at this moment. So, this week on Raw, we saw the first signs of true change, with some of the hottest young prospects at the top of the company in the main event. I hear that people will die of shock if the change becomes too much of them, so let's not change much, and let's start our show like we usually do with winners and losers. This opening round allows the panel to build up an early lead for their team by each of them telling us who they feel were this week's biggest winners and or losers. For example, you could say that this week's biggest winner was the internet, with our current champions being web favorites like Zack Ryder, CM Punk, and Daniel Bryan. You could also say that this week's biggest loser was the internet, because depending on how the vote in January goes, there won't be any internet to have favorites on. So that being said, teams, who do you believe are this week's biggest winners and or losers? Let's start off with WindowDump, winners and losers.
This week's biggest winners are, of course, the live crowd for the WWE Raw show in Philadelphia. I mean, they got to see what they always wanted. We all know that Philadelphia is what's known as a very smarky city. It's a home to numerous professional wrestling promotions, both past, present, and future, including ECW and Chikara. And so when they finally got to see the guys that they love come out and get the hero's welcome by doing Sandman's entrance, exit light, enter the cult of personality, they got everything that they absolutely ever wanted, and I assume that the entire city collectively marked its balls off. Unfortunately, this week's biggest losers are all the faces who currently hold the title, because now you've got tag teams like Air Boom holding down new talent like the Usos. You've got Zack Ryder holding down, let's see, who's that jobber on Raw? Okay, I don't think Zack Ryder's actually holding anybody down, but you've got Daniel Bryan holding down Wade Barrett and Cody Rhodes, and of course you have CM Punk holding down Dolph Ziggler.
And of course you have Triple H holding down Katie Vick.
Triple H doesn't have a title. What are you talking about?
Okay, Red, you get a point for that.
Red, you're talking bollocks. The only thing Triple H is trying to keep down is one of those all-day breakfasts.
Okay, on that note, let's go to Mintzs, winners and losers for this week.
Losers this week would probably be India, to have to put up with TNA for the first time, unfortunately. They decided to actually turn around and actually name the stuff Ring Ka King, which translates to King of the Ring. The good thing about the WWE this week, as WindowDump kindly pointed out, is that, in a smart city as good as Philadelphia, they had your three main people, two for Ring of Honor and Zack Ryder. The only bad thing about it is so much greatness in that ring, and yet you've got a city like Philadelphia with the Flyers who just suck shit.
Okay, and losers? Any losers?
I did. It was TNA.
Oh, I see.
India.
Yes. India, yeah, that's right. Oh, India, you don't know what you're getting yourselves into. So,
Cobra, you're not red.
I know.
He's doing well. I'm proud of him.
Yes. Next, Omega. Let's go to OmegaBR. Winners and or losers this week.
Well, I think this week's winner would be the Post Cereal Group for purportedly getting John Cena as a sponsor of Fruity Pebbles cereal. Of course, Cena's on the box, and they have special offers to get an exclusive John Cena t-shirt. Personally, I think General Mills should have jumped at the chance to get Cena, because I think he would have made a perfect sponsor of Boo Berry. Of course, they have, but they still have other options, for example, Lucky Charms. I think John Laurinaitis would be a perfect sponsor for Lucky Charms, since he's so damn lucky to have the job that he does. And you guys thought I was going to say Hornswoggle, didn't you? Or perhaps a limited run in the Philadelphia market featuring Paul Heyman for Chex cereal. And of course, other cereal companies can get on this. Particularly, I would hope that Kellogg's and Quaker Oats don't have a feud. They should really try to scoop up one of the Hardy Boys Kellogg's should anyway, for Special K cereal, at least before one of them becomes a prime candidate for Quaker Oats and Life cereal. And I suppose this week's loser would have to be Vicky Guerrero for taking one for the team and having to kiss Hornswoggle on Raw. You know, I'm sure when she was told that she had to go into the general manager's office and kiss a small man who can barely speak, she thought it would be John Laurinaitis, or at the very least, David Otunga.
I was just going to say on the serial front, Orlando Jordan did have a deal with frogs, but then he found out the name was actually Sugar Puffs, not Sugar Puffs.
As you can hear, Red Reddington has turned into a robot once again, live here on TeamSpeak 3.
Oh dear God! Welcome everybody again. I'm probably going to punch someone else.
That's a way of saying all humans will.
All humans will be terminated.
Well, somebody had to cheer for Davey Richards.
Okay, so I was going to go to Red, but he's decided to transmogrify himself into a robot. So, RedMachineD, winners and or losers for this week.
I believe the week's biggest winner would be the internet wrestling community at large, because they're seeing all of the people that they wanted getting pushes, and all the people that they don't want in the main event drawn back to the mid-card. Because if you look at it, Triple H is in a barely mid-card feud with Kevin Nash, and John Cena is getting into a mid-card feud with Kane leading up to WrestleMania, in which he wrestles The Rock for God knows what at this point. And the internet darlings, who actually legitimately are some of the hardest working guys in the company, being CM Punk, Zack Ryder, Dolph Ziggler, Kofi Kingston, Evan Bourne, Cody Rhodes, etc., all getting right up into the main event and being put on TV for everyone to see at the end of the show, which, let's face it, they get the most time. But the biggest loser this week is also the internet wrestling community, because after having CM Punk and Evan Bourne, Zack Ryder, Cody Rhodes, everybody having titles and everybody getting all the exposure, and Dolph Ziggler getting to main event everything, they have nothing to complain about anymore. And if you've ever seen an internet smart with nothing to complain about, it's kind of like watching a cat with nothing to stimulate it. It'll sit there and just quietly vibrate. And it's really unnerving. So something bad's got to happen here pretty soon. Otherwise, the WrestleCrap boards are going to implode, and it's probably going to take UGO and Google with it.
Oh dear. And then, well, don't worry. The internet's not going to be around for much longer anyway. Red, are you a robot still?
I have no idea. Am I still a robot?
No, you're not. He's back.
No,
He's
you're
back
here.
with us. This is fantastic. Red.
It's like Bicentennial Man.
Red. Winners and or losers for this week.
My loser this week has to be Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, who was suspended by Santa this week for fears of taking cocaine. He swears it's just a red nose and it's always been like that. My winners this week have to be Jeff Hardy, Evan Bourne, and R-Truth, who've all been employed by Santa in order to help the sleigh get high enough. An additional winner as well, I'll say this week, will have to be Kane, who after months and months of standing in line whilst he was off trying to get a John Cena t-shirt, this week he finally managed to get one by taking action and stealing a t-shirt from John Cena himself. And I think that's probably worth a little bit more than the Sin Cara Penis t-shirt.
Yep. Well, it's about time Kane learned to rise above hate. Okay, so at the end of that round, our team A, the Have I missed something? What? Why are you clearing? Oh, did I? Oh, sorry.
Oh, no,
sorry, he had points. Maffew, you go. I know, I'm bad at this. Maffew.
Oh, sorry. So, do you mean me?
Yes, Maffew. Winners and losers.
I would miss the key on my keyboard to activate my TeamSpeak device. Shit. But apart from that, I would say the winners this week would be Noddy Holder's bank account, because if you've gone outside, stayed in, maybe try to shoot yourself with a large gun, you will have heard one of his lovely songs. Probably the one about Christmas. As for losers, I would say Beth Phoenix's face on Raw, and tying with that, I would also like to mention for the third time John Cena's Fruity Pebbles cereal, because Whenever you try and eat them and keep them down, as you do with cereal, sadly, 3 minutes later, they're back up and out of you.
Oh.
Done. Next.
Next. Yes, next. I'm sorry about that, folks. Yes, at the end of that round, we have Team A, the Shoot Promo No Stars with 20 points, and just behind we have the Shoot Promo No Shows with 18. Oh. No, there's still lots to play for. I mean, we have all these rounds, all these pages to go through, so... let's see. Next up, we have question 1. Our first question is about wintertime cinema. So, team captains, who have you chosen to answer a question about the holiday classics?
I have elected Maffew, as he is so knowledgeable on movies and videos that it seems to be his expertise. So Maffew will be taking our Christmas movie question.
I attempted to elect Red, but he started crying. Anyways, for my cinema viewing this Xmas, for you people who are offended by that word.
Wait. Yeah?
Okay.
I don't know. Who's doing it for the other team then? RedMachineD, who have you picked?
WindowDump.
WindowDump, okay.
I watched Home Alone 2 yesterday.
Okay, so, yes, as the Christmas season remains in full swing, our televisions have become inundated with classic holiday movies galore, such as Santa's Sleigh, starring Bill Goldberg, Santa with Muscles, starring Hulk Hogan, and the upcoming film Hell Elves, starring a naked Dusty Rhodes. Truly timeless films that are fun for the whole family. Now the way if they can do it, any wrestler can. So, ladies and gentlemen, what wrestler would you cast in a Christmas-themed movie? What would their role be, and what would the film be about? Now, I feel really bad about ignoring Maffew last round, and, I should probably Pac-Man myself, but, so I'm going to go to him first. So, Maffew, Christmas-themed movie, what wrestler should star in it? What would it be about?
Well, this is slightly different the round that I thought it was going to be, but it's alright, it's live, I will just edit myself. Numero uno, I would have the timeless classic The Christmas Story, the film with the immortal lines, "You shoot your eye out," but replacing all the main characters with Meng and Jimmy Jack Funk. That joke would have worked much better if Bryan Alvarez was here to go, "Oh, I get that." Numero dos, 2, I would have The Great Escape, featuring John Morrison instead of Steve McQueen, and to the defense of Barbed Wire and Nazis, it would be his WWE contract. For the classic Spartacus by Stanley Kubrick, the scene where the Romans tell all the slaves that they will spare their lives if they reveal which of them portrays John Cena. I meant to say Sin Cara there. I do not know how I managed to make that mistake. Who portrays Sin Cara on TV? They're all brutally crucified because nobody wants to reveal themselves as Sin Cara. Numero cuatro, which is number 4 in Spanish French, the line of Bryan Alvarez, where Bryan is mistaken as the Messiah, and, just like 2011 in The Rapture, he no-shows at the very end. Finally, for this round, Numero 5, Revenge of the Nerds. There's no film, it's just a photo of the current WWE champions.
Very good. I'd watch them. Next up, WindowDump. So, what do you think? What wrestler should star in a holiday film?
Well, obviously they should start doing another sequel to Home Alone, this time starring CM Punk because, he's from Chicago, but then at some point he, it doesn't quite work because he's actually a fully functioning adult instead of a little snot-nosed brat that's 8 years old and is a really sadistic bastard, but he's a fully competent adult and he misses his flight to wherever they're doing the WWE Christmas show taping. And so he decides, you know what, I'm just going to hook up with Colt Cabana, and then it turns into that remake of Cannonball Run with all wrestlers that everybody wants. Let's see, number 2, I believe, would be Die Hard, except starring John Cena and Ted DiBiase Jr. as, let's see, Ted DiBiase Jr. is going to be Bruce Willis's character, and John Cena can be that guy who gets high on coke and then I don't even know where I was going, but anyway, Die Hard, yeah, favorite Christmas movie. You should totally have that. I guess you could probably have R-Truth as that black guy who listens to rap music in the limo and gets locked in there. What other Christmas movies were good? You can redo the A Christmas Carol, except with Dixie Carter and all of the guys. The Ghost of Christmas Past would of course be Hulk Hogan, Ric Flair. Ghost of Christmas Present would be Bobby Roode, and the Ghost of Christmas Future would be, well, it has no future. I was going to say all of the Vanilla Midgets, but they've all been released or gone to India, or I guess got really old and fat like Matt and Jeff Hardy. And I guess that's probably good. That's 3 movies.
Well, yes, very good. Well, we all know that AJ Styles would probably be the Ghost of Christmas Future, considering he's been called the future of TNA for 9 years. So, at the end of that round, we have Team A still in the lead, the Shoot Promo No Stars, with 27 points, but just behind the Shoot Promo No Shows with 25. Okay, so now we move into our second round, which is a free-for-all round. So any team member can answer at any time as much as they like and score points. Now, okay, this is the Wrestle Recast. Now, everyone knows the popular version of the nativity scene, Jesus in the manger, Mary and Joseph, wise men bringing gifts. Well, WWE Films has just been ordered to shoot their own version of the story using only wrestlers as every part. So, folks, who would you cast in this remake and why?
John Zandig as Jesus.
Sorry, as who?
Jesus!
I would cast Lita. I would cast Lita as the Virgin Mary, because obviously the phantom pregnancy, which would then mean that Matt Hardy would have to be Joseph. Jeff Hardy would be then the angel Gabriel, who would come down to Matt during a drunken stupor and say, "Hey Matt, Lita's pregnant." But then of course Cain impregnated Lita, which then means that Cain is God, which then means that hell has to be heaven. So it means we're all fucked.
And also, the Undertaker is the Holy Spirit.
Yes.
I would cast Vince McMahon as the innkeeper who denies Joseph and Mary entry.
I would cast Sheamus.
Sorry, I was going to say Vince McMahon would never deny entry to a female.
I would cast Sheamus, Booker T, and Mabel as the 3 kings that come to visit Jesus.
I would actually go one step further. I would cast Dusty Rhodes, Jim Cornette, and Vince Russo as the 3 wise men. Dusty Rhodes would of course bring Gold Dust. Jim Cornette would bring Frankenstein, i.e. the ROH roster, and Vince Russo would bring Swerve.
Buzzing it.
I know.
I would have the 3 wise men as Russo, Ferrara, and Bischoff, but they are, of course, following a star. Sadly, because of how long it takes for a star's light to reach Earth, said star is 10 years older than they think it is. Pretty much of most of the headliners they've had this year.
The Shepherds would consist entirely of the WWE's undercard. Trent Beretta, Tyson Kidd, Yoshitatsu, Justin Gabriel, Drew McIntyre. Because where in the hell else are they going to get a role in a movie?
I'd actually suggest that the Shepherds are Zack Ryder, CM Punk, and let's go for Dolph Ziggler, and the Sheep are played by the internet wrestling community because they're the only people that they follow.
I would say that in a twist of fate for a Scotsman, that Drew McIntyre would be the Sheep.
I think Melina can be cast as one of the horses that gathers around the manger.
Ooh. I believe you mean Lillian Garcia.
Ooh, guys!
I made fun of her last week.
We're mean.
That's terrible. It's a terrible thing to say.
And then, playing the role of the ass, John Morrison.
John Cena can be the donkey because he's carried every single person he's worked in a match with.
Oh.
Snap.
Wait, Cena?
Well,
Wait, Cena.
I was gonna say Morrison's promo ability can play the desert that the Three Kings have to cross.
2
I
points for that
disagree,
one.
Omega. If this is going to be a child's production of the Nativity, we'll need bits. We need. I've just realised I've messed up the line. I'm not here. I'm a robot. Blah blah blah.
I'd probably see.
Wait, he's back with another line. I would have CM Punk as Jesus, because no matter how hard they try and bury him, he keeps on coming back.
Oh.
Twitter as the North Star because everybody just keeps following it.
Michael Cole as the King Herod who tries to kill Daniel Bryan as the baby Jesus.
What do you think, Jesus? What do you think? What do you think?
I've got it. It's the return of the line I butchered. For a child's version of the Nativity play, they can use John Morrison's wooden promos for the set. Took long enough.
So is everyone done?
I think so.
Very
Before we
high
offend
scoring
more
round.
religions.
Very high scoring round. So Team A has finally dropped down a bit. The Shoot Promo No Stars with 37 points. And now in the lead, the Shoot Promo No Shows with 45. Yeah, this is a pretty high scoring game. Okay, so question 2. We move on to question 2, which is all about music. So, team captains, who have you chosen to answer a question about music?
Due to my amazing piano skills and the fact that I like to blow my own trumpet, I will be taking on the music round.
I was going to say that I booked myself to win this round, but Red just mentioned blowing his own trumpet, so... See, it's a comment about a penis.
So it's Red versus Red. RMD taking on Red Reddington, captain versus captain. So let's get into this about music. Now, if there's one thing that wrestlers love to release more than films, it's albums. I mean, who can forget the legendary rap album Be a Man by the Macho Man Randy Savage, or Hulk Hogan and the Wrestling Boot Band, or Mickey James's country CDs. But most memorable and legendary of them all has to be Jillian Hall's Christmas album, A Jingle with Jillian. It outsold Brooke Hogan's album, and as such, WWE considers it to be a smashing success. So with that in mind, what if they tried to release another holiday album? What songs would be on it? What wrestlers would perform on it? And what would it be titled? Let's go with the team who's trailing behind a bit. RMD, you go first.
Well, it would start out with a spoken word performance by 2003's version of Sean O'Hare, coming out telling everybody to have another eggnog, or have another smoke, get another piece of turkey out, or get some more of that Christmas ham to, pig out and everything. But then again, he's not telling you anything you already don't know. Secondly, it would be CM Punk in the background of every single song on that album, just staring disapprovingly at the microphone. Third, you would end up having Zack Ryder getting some kind of abomination of a rap from a bunch of white Guidos from Long Island, seeing as that everybody with a bad tan and an even worse haircut from over in that part of the country thinks that, yes, they can rap with the best of them, because, let's face it, if you drink that much Heineken, you're willing to do anything and think you're great at it. Which is probably why Robbie E is still in the business. Fourth, it would end up having the mid-card mafia, they call themselves, Kurt Hawkins, Tyler Rex, and everything, doing some kind of four-piece holiday ensemble, but of course, since they're all trying to play up to the gimmick, they all end up on bass. And finally, they'd end up doing a lot of Jim Johnston work because, let's face it, downstate as session musicians, good for themes, bad for things you actually want to sell.
All this downstate. Yeah, it's like a virus. It's like a T-virus just slowly infecting all the wrestlers. Soon we'll get the downstate, Skrillex remix of the downstate version of Cody Rhodes' new theme. So next up, Red, you're next. Wrestlers, Christmas albums.
Well, I mean, I decided to go for kind of like one of those VH1s, all the Christmas hits combined into one thing. So I've got some selected songs sung by some superstars. For example, Kane singing that great old classic, JR roasting on an open fire. Then we've got Orlando Jordan singing that classic Christmas hit, JBL, JBL, wrestling all the way. Then you've got Evan Bourne and R-Truth and various other superstars, including Kane Kennedy, doing a great round of 30 days of suspension. On the first day of suspension, I toked up once again. You've got the great old Christmas classic that not many people remember of good old King Jerry Lawler, who let little children into his house. And of course, finally rounding up the album, instead of O Tannenbaum, we're going to have O Pipe Bomb by CM Punk. And that's all I've got.
Will that be the album with anal bells?
That would probably get Anal Bells would probably feature somewhere on that album as well.
Fantastic. A bit of a short round there. Sorry for the people in the stream, it messed up. Okay, so at the end of that round, we still have the no-shows in the lead with 51 points to the no-stars 44 points. But next round, I'm sure the points will definitely shuffle quite a bit because our next round is the Pass the Buck round, and that is where we truly test our panel's knowledge of wrestling and wrestlers. And much like the endless lists of moves known by Y2J, the panel will attempt to come up with as many words that fit our criteria until they run out, stumble, or repeat a word. They'll be Pac-Man'd and eliminated.
Dun dun dun.
And then we'll move on to our next category. So the last person standing will win 5 bonus points for their team, and points will be given for any interesting or funny answers. Okay, so
5 bonus points.
Okay, so we've decided the order will be WindowDump, Maffew, OmegaBR, Red, RMD, and then Mintzs. So our remember, got to be on the ball here. So our first category in the categories round: presents Colt Cabana gets for Hanukkah.
A pipe bomb from his good friend CM Punk.
I get it. I'm supposed to say something now, aren't I?
Yes.
Go
Go on, Rango.
A dreidel.
Go on.
2 dreidels.
An actual check from the Pro Wrestling Revolution project.
A second best in the world t-shirt.
Tights wash.
A giant wooden Star of David.
Another tryout match with WWE.
An Amazon voucher, giving him $10 at Amazon.com.
A Kindle, so he has something to do on those long indie road trips.
A place on next year's Shoot Promo Christmas show.
A rejection letter from TNA, thank God.
The Ring of Honor World title 5 years ago when it was relevant.
5 pounds of bacon Daniel Bryan.
A get out of shoot promo free card that he got off Bryan Alvarez.
A package of Clark bars from his good friend Matt Classic.
I hate to do this. I'm gonna bow out. I'm sorry, guys. I can't think of it. I've been Pac-Man'd.
You've been Pac-Man'd. Now
you know how it feels.
Now you know how it feels. So Red, you're out. So we go to our next category, which is common wrestling-related injuries. We start with WindowDump.
Sprained groin.
Quad.
A broken heart.
Oh.
Bruised tailbone.
I damn near broke my neck.
A broken back caused by a wellness violation.
Shit, who was Lost smile.
I don't know. That's the second time you've been not on the ball, so I'm afraid I'm sorry to have to do this, but...
I fucking hate you.
Oh god!
Ah,
Depending on a drunk Scotsman.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
It's like the Kelly and Drew McIntyre promos.
Well,
I
You
can
never
hear
know.
it.
and Tiffany will never find out. Now, next...
And it sucks because I had a really off-color one. To
What was it?
show.
What was it?
Bruised cervix from a Johnny Ace tryout.
You get 3 ones for that. So, okay, next category. Starting again, window dump. Prepare. Ornaments found on the pallbearer family Christmas tree.
A tiny golden ornamental urn.
a golden cross that Kane keeps trying to turn upside down.
A golden bottle of hair bleach from that horrible time in the 90s.
The only casket that could fit Yokozuna in it.
A candy cane!
One of those little Divas ornaments because, hell, they're just giving those things away now.
The William Shatner book on how to overact.
Was a no ding for that. Oh well.
Yeah, sounds messing up.
Okay, I was just wondering there. The hidden sex tape that they didn't show on Raw with Paul Bearer.
A miniaturized version of Big Gold.
Christmas lights, but every single one of them is red or purple.
A teeny tiny can of Pringles.
He's at your birth certificate that says Percy Pringle with a third on it.
How would they fit that on the tree?
But now there's, a tag.
Okay, I'll give you that one then.
A set of fake teeth that looks really bad and is golden also.
Burnt popcorn strung with care.
The original urn, if you remember, the giant one, not the little one, the giant one.
Is that on the top?
It'd have to be, wouldn't it?
The, what'd you call it? The glass case with all the concrete in it.
Okay, look, I've been very giving people lots of leeway here, but I don't think you'll be able to fit a concrete glass case on a Christmas tree. So Mintzs.
Is that the same as the giant urn that you're supposed to fit on top of a tree?
Yeah, you put it on top of the tree. It
It's a
kind of covers it.
conspiracy!
I can imagine the tree just being 6 foot to 2.
It's alright,
Okay.
it's in the lead.
Yeah. No, I haven't calculated the scores yet. So next up, we have our next category, which is a very simple one. Tag teams. Past, present, future. Tag teams. Window dump when you are ready.
Wait a
Yoshitatsu,
second.
Richie Steamboat. Yeah, Yoshitatsu, Richie Steamboat, Daniel Bryan. Triple Dragon.
The world's greatest tag team.
I just noticed something, and I hate to do this, but I need to pause the game to look at the rules here. This is unfair because all three of us are on the same team racking up points when there's
That's true.
nobody else on the other side.
This is very dumb.
Well, no,
Cobra
we'll
T
continue.
Washington.
Points and go. Go!
Cobra T the fourth man.
That's what I would do. That's
I'm
what
the
I would do
fourth
if I
man.
was in
I'm the
charge of
fourth
this
man.
show.
What?
Love you.
I'm so confused.
I think
Continue.
I think we won the round
I'm here.
by default.
I think they won. I think they won the round.
Yeah. You won.
What's happening?
You won. Let's throw it out.
Your guess is as good as mine, Maffew.
Moral of the story: don't rely on a drunk Scotsman. So let's move ahead. If you're curious,
don't
the
rely on
remaining
American.
if you're curious, the remaining categories were tag teams, wrestling-themed holiday drinks. I was really hoping someone would be able to say Scott Steiner's doing you an eggnog, and foreign objects.
I would have said Scott Tyler's screwdriver.
So let's move on to question 3.
Can we get our scores?
Oh, no, you cannot get your scores. Okay, you can get your scores. The no stars with 74 points, and the no shows with 62. We still have lots to play for, and spontaneous promotion is, of course, one of our highest scoring rounds. But first, question 3. It's all about gimmick matches. So, team captains, who have you selected to answer the question about gimmick matches?
I hate to have to rely on a drunken Scotsman again, but I'm going to rely on a drunken Scotsman again.
You relied on a drunken Scotsman last time, and I get better than you, and I get better than Maffew, which is fucking something.
That is very true. Mintzs, you will be taking this round.
What?
R&D, who do you pick from team?
OmegaBR.
Very nice. Okay, so last Sunday night was the WWE PPV TLC. And along with winning the award for most acronyms in a sentence, it also happened to be a very fun and entertaining pay-per-view. One match that stood out was the Kevin Nash versus Triple H encounter, which, despite having a rather silly gimmick on paper, turned out to be a pretty nice brawl with some good spots in action. However, personally, I don't think a sledgehammer on a ladder match was quite silly enough. This person only needed something incredibly silly to end it all. So rather than just simply allowing pinfalls after the hammer was retrieved, perhaps they could have added in another stipulation, or maybe even cranked the entire match up to 11. So, team members, what other ways could the sledgehammer on a ladder match have been spiced up? Let's go to the minty fresh one, Mintzs.
There should have actually been 2 sledgehammers placed above that. And now, because I'm Scottish and I'll actually take something that was, decent in my country, why did they not bring in Barry Darsow, reprise his old gimmick of, the hole-in-one, get the 2 sledgehammers down, and play a nice game of golf with the sledgehammers, of course. You could, of course, use either Kelly or one of the other fucking skinny divas' heads as actual golf balls. If we're looking for a hole, bring back Lita, spread her legs, any one of the other divas, spread her legs.
Ooh.
That's the big enough hole you've got there.
Ouch!
I thought for a hole you could have used Ken Anderson. Oh no, wait, sorry. He's the black hole of charisma.
Maffew, you get a point there. Ouch. Any other ideas, Mintzs?
To be honest, no. If it was anything, I would like it if Diesel just came at one time to the Roseanne theme. That would just be the best.
Well, to help our team, can I advise that I thought the TLC match would have been 100 times more funny and entertaining if, instead of climbing a ladder to grab a sledgehammer, they could have climbed a sledgehammer to grab a ladder.
2 points from Maffew there. Okay, so we move on to our next team. Omega, let's silly up this match. Hit me with your best shot.
Well, I think based on the personal nature, that they kept saying how personal this match was, 2 best friends. Instead of hitting each other with a sledgehammer, they should place personal artifacts of both men around the ring, and then once you grab the sledgehammer, you can hit them. For example, if Triple H got the sledgehammer, he could literally destroy Triple H's contract, Kevin Nash's contract with the sledgehammer. Or perhaps if Kevin Nash grabbed the sledgehammer, he could smash up Triple H's daughter's Barbie dream house and make them cry, although they could probably afford another one. In Triple H's case, he could smash Scott Hall's case of Pabst Blue Ribbon and make him cry. And Kevin Nash doesn't want to see that, not again. In Kevin Nash's case, if he had the sledgehammer, he could smash Stephanie McMahon's, just Stephanie herself. She could probably use a smack in the mouth, and both men, at the end of the day, both men, they could probably just put the entire rest of the roster around the ring because the match was really for both men's benefit. So make it a lumberjack match, stick the rest of the roster around the ring, and just let them both go whole hog on the entire roster. And that would be a Merry Christmas for the McMahon, Helmsley, Nash, Laurinaitis household.
Stephanie McMahon on a pole match because she's got about as much charisma as a sledgehammer.
I was just going to say, if you want to make the match really, really ridiculous and really, really stupid, the only way to do it is to theme the whole match exactly like the music video to Peter Gabriel's Sledgehammer. And the only way you win the match is if you dance with a couple of animatronic turkeys, and then when you grab the sledgehammer at the top of the ladder, you have to go, "I'll be your sledgehammer."
I think you were going to say the only way you can win the match is if you're Peter Gabriel.
But then the turkeys turn out to be Gory Guerrero. And
Oh god. So,
With the on a pole scheme, considering both men's previous histories, extra quad on a pole.
we thought we'd broken his quad about 5 times throughout the match. Good quad almighty. Now, after that round, we have Team A, the No Stars, dropping down. They have an 80 points, with the No-Shows with an 82. So,
Who's
and
who?
next... Huh? Oh, I told you, the No-Shows have an 82.
No, who's who?
We're
Who's
the
who?
No-Shows.
We're the no-shows, that's okay.
For fuck's sake!
Seriously,
So
you've been
drunk.
saying that like for the past couple of rounds. I'm like, which fucking team's which?
I didn't pick the names, I'm just saying.
Such a
So,
weird replacement.
our final round. We move into spontaneous promotion. The teams try and make up some final points before heading into defend the indefensible. So, 2 members of each team will randomly select a wrestler, situation, and wild card by using the letters A through D. Bonus points would be given for good impressions and remaining in character as much as possible. Remember that the voice isn't what is important. It's so much of the style and the tone of your promo matching that of a selected wrestler. Of course, seeing as it's the end of the season, our wild cards for this week are taking the form of some of the best wild cards we've had in our 11 episodes on the air. They're not exact copies, of course, but they're modified just enough to keep things interesting. So, teams, who have you picked to be spontaneously promoted?
Well, I think that the rest of the world, seeing as I've been forcing wildcards on people for 11 episodes, would probably want me to do this. So I am willing to submit myself to the torture of spontaneous promotion. I'm not sure who I would bring with me. I think I'll take Maffew with me. Maffew can Maffew can join me in spontaneous promotion.
You seriously don't want a drunk Scotsman.
At least I know which team I'm on, so yeah, I guess I'm more qualified.
Tell me.
Okay, so RedMachineD, who have you picked to be spontaneously promoted?
myself and WindowDump.
Oh, we're fucked.
Oh,
Yep.
Well, with
Proper
that
fuck.
sort of confidence, I'm sure you'll be just fine. So let's see. I think WindowDump. You can have free pick of the board. 3 letters. What do you pick?
How about a CAB for Bryan Alvarez so we can get to the show?
Okay.
Awesome.
C-A-B. Okay. You
I
are...
said CAB.
Oh,
Cab.
did
The
you say
joke was
B?
cab.
Yeah, I said
How do
B.
we get a dab? How do we get a dab?
I
A
said
dab
go.
for Bryan Alvarez, please.
C-A-B. C-A-B. And you are Ric Flair. You have just lost. You have just lost to Brodus Clay in his debut match. And you must cut a promo along the lines of the song My Favorite Things from The Sound of Music. So, Ric Flair, Brodus Clay, Sound of Music. In your own time.
Let me get a drink of water here first.
He's never coming back.
He's just gone.
Yeah, I was getting a drink of water from Niagara Falls, you see. Okay, let's
Say
see.
hello to Bryan for
Brodus
us.
Clay hits the fall of humanity, high crossbody, and Ric Flair is crushed between Brodus Clay's massive man tits, and he blades somehow. 1, 2, 3. Here's your winner, Brodus Clay. What's this? Ric Flair's getting on the microphone. I don't believe he's ever lost to somebody quite this fat and ripping it up. Shia. Okay, let's see. I'm trying to remember how this song goes. Let's see. Woo! It's the Nature Boy, Ric Flair, and let me tell you some of my favorite things. Blading and winning and kissing all the pretty girls and making them cry. Being the Nature Boy, woo! Strutting and being friends with Sting, except when I'm getting superplexed and losing all my blood. These are a few of my favorite things. Let me tell you what the Nature Boy does not like. Really fat guys that aren't over 40. Guys with too many tattoos and not enough hair. Woo! Jobbing out the new uprising stars. I hate this stuff. Woo! 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 And Ric Flair is passed out from blood loss. I don't believe I've ever seen that before in my life.
That was...
Is that what that song is? Would you know what
you don't know how...
I know how it
That
goes.
What
I just
happened?
can't rhyme. I'm sorry.
Indescribable. Now let's go over to our next. Let's go over to Mr. Reddington. Your 3 letters, please.
Well, you know, WindowDump referenced Bryan Alvarez as a CAB, getting him a cab. I'm going to go to an old shoot promo favourite and say BBD. And only a few people out there know what the D stands for. I'll give you a clue. 3 cans of Coke, lads. 3 cans of Coke.
BBD.
Who's Pinko
BBD.
Jones?
Okay, you are Jim Ross. You have just won NXT Redemption, and you are replacing Shawn Michaels against Vince McMahon and Shane McMahon at Backlash 2006, teaming with God. So, Jim Ross just won NXT, and you are in a tag team with God. In your own time.
By God! By God! We gotta team up! We gotta team up! I've just come back and I've won NXT Redemption! And you know what, God? We're gonna team up and we're gonna take it to McMahon! Oh, Jerry, you don't know! You don't know about it! Stone Cold! Stone Cold is here! Stone Cold! What's Stone Cold doing here? I don't know! What Van Goldberg! 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 God! You know, God, we've been together for quite a long time as an announce team. You know what? We're going to take it to Shane McMahon and Vince McMahon, and we're going to wipe out all of the competition and send him to hell, Kane! Send him to hell! Kane, no! Don't send me on fire, Kane! No!
I didn't know you could yell that loud.
I yelled a lot.
Yeah, well, it wouldn't be the worst thing the McMahons have done to him. So,
I was going to
next.
hope saying, God is my witness. He's over there.
Extra 2 points for
yes.
you, Maffew. Extra 2 points for you. Next, we have the next side. RedMachineD. Your letters, please.
As I am once again very superstitious, I shall defer to Maffew so I get the slim pickings.
Oh, okay. Maffew, what do you choose?
Snap into a Slim Pickens, is that what he said?
Yes, he's going to...
Well-
Oh, yeah!
Because I love Faulty Towers so much, I'm going to pick BBC.
You can't... the remaining letters on the board are, for the first column, A and D. For the second column, C and D, and for the wild card, A and C. So.
I will pick ACC because it sounds a bit like BCC.
Okay. A, C, C. Okay, you are Matt Hardy. You have been selected to lead the BA Star campaign, and you are on commentary calling the reveal of the higher power.
What does Matt Hardy sound like? Or do I have to impersonate a mouthful of grapes?
Yeah, just put loads of food in your mouth. That would do it. Just stuff your mouth full of food.
Wait a minute. It's gonna be like Marlon Brando in The Godfather.
That's what
Just
Matt's
getting
been
tiger
doing.
bread.
So yeah,
In a bag
Matt
of
Hardy,
bread.
be a star, commentary calling the higher power in your own time.
My friend. Well, too much food went to Mark Henry territory there. I will start again now that I've swallowed some grapes. Okay, we're watching a tornado being slapped here. Because Steve Austin, you know, he's jealous of me and my abs. I've been working out, you know. I think there's something about Vince McMahon being a power hire. I don't know. I was at Wendy's. I don't know. I'll ask. Hopefully, it'll be on Twitter. I'll ask Angelina Sky. Yeah. Did I mention Jeff's my brother? I forgot what the theme was, but it's all right. Look at my abs. I'm gonna go taser Velvet Sky now. So long, man. Taser on the Matt Hardy show. Cool. Matt Hardy will not diet.
The fact that we almost made Maffew kill himself by eating too much bread doing a Matt Hardy impression. All of my Christmas presents.
Okay. Well, this leaves RedMachineD with the slim pickings. And I'm slightly disappointed, but I'm sure you'll be able to pull some gold out of this. Your slim pickings are DDA. You are Ultramantis Black. You have just unified the United States and Intercontinental Championships, and you must gradually change your gimmick into the Boogeyman. So, Ultramantis, United States and Intercontinental Championships, and you must change into the Boogeyman in your own time.
What they never expected was that I would capture gold in the WWE. For I, Ultramantis Black, have captured the belts of Zack Ryder and Dolph Ziggler. But what they didn't expect was that I'm gonna get ya. Yeah, I'm gonna get ya. I got a pocket full of worms behind these two belts. And I'm gonna take the Eye of Tear and I'm gonna get you run to the ring, stomping all around, shitty theme music, cause I'm gonna get you, cause I'm the Boogeyman, and I'm gonna front teeth. I got the front teeth. I got the front teeth. And I don't need you to believe I got the belts. I got the this. I got the that. I got the Eye of Tear. I got the G-Card Grand Champion title next month against Eddie Kingston, and he can't get me because I'm the Ultramantis Boogeyman.
The
For those of you with the female
Ultramantis
persuasion, you might
Boogeyman.
recognise that as RedMachineD's foreplay.
Yes, I think we were just witness to some sort of mating call.
You might also have heard the WWE 12 menu music playing in the background.
Well, after that round, our final scores are the Shoot promo, no stars, with 97 points. Which means that this game's winner is the Shoot promo no shows with 101 points.
Yes! 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 He did it!
I'm so enthralled in this.
Come on, man.
I'm
It's the
still
best thing you've
choking
ever
on bread.
won.
But-
Just like the ending to WrestleMania 14, where we all thought Mike Tyson was on the corporation side, but then it turns out he was really on Stone Cold's side.
It was a swell all along.
Congratulations and celebrations.
We can't stop singing that. The show's not over because we still have Defend the Indefensible, where the winning team fights it out to become see who is crowned the top champion of Shoot promo. So we have the no-show, Reddington, Mintzs, and Maffew. These defend the indefensible. The team captain will assign both himself and his teammates a letter, A, B, or C, and each letter corresponds to a statement that no wrestling fan could defend, but they will have to for 30 seconds. The person that defends the statement the best will be this week's winners. The players will be judged by the defeated team, and if there is a tie, I will cast a deciding vote. And you'll know that your time is out if you hear this noise. Excellent. Now, Red, as the team captain, dole out your letters, A, B, or C.
Hang on, I think I might be muted. No, I'm not. There we go. Well, I'm going to do what everyone else seems to do when they're team captaining in this situation, which I'm going to make myself go last, so I'll be C. Mintzs, well, I think you should go first, and Maffew, you can go second. So Mintzs A, Maffew B, and I will be C.
Excellent. So Mintzs is first, correct? Okay, Mintzs. Your statement to defend. Michael Cole should open a wrestling school. Your time starts now.
He should open a wrestling school because then we would get everything as the proper names. You should actually bring in Vince McMahon. That way, when they're actually doing moves, you don't have to say, this is a 3/4 headlock face, plant, whatever. They can just say, this is a maneuver. That way, when Vince McMahon comes back to the commentary booth, he can actually just say, what a maneuver, over and over again, as if it was the mid-90s. It would also be good because, well, let's face it, who's actually better? Who would be better?
Time's up. Very good. And Maffew, you are next. Statement to defend is, wellness policy tests should happen on live TV in the middle of the ring. The time starts now.
I would defend this because I would laugh, because it would be the first time people would actually want to see Titus O'Neil's penis. I think I got the guy right who took a picture of his penis on Twitter. If not, I apologize. That joke would have made no sense whatsoever. Also, MVP could probably blog about people having to get graduate degrees in order to look at men's penises. Pat Patterson would most likely backflip as well as a 85 Quebecan can. And Brooklyn Brawler would start appearing on DVDs again.
Yes. You got the wrestler right. Okay.
I heard no noise to weather, and I thought I walked into a Tyler Rex promo.
Yeah, I forgot to mention. In Defend the Indefensible, points are scored in silence. Okay, so Red, that means you are last, and the statement you have to defend. The Great Power Uti should win the Royal Rumble and go on to face Sin Cara in a Gulf of Mexico match at WrestleMania. Time starts now.
Well, of course. I mean, Sin Cara should definitely be in the main event of WrestleMania. There should definitely be the Great UT. I can't remember who that guy is, but I remember it came up in Shoot Promo at some point. Sin Cara. I think Sin Cara winning the Royal Rumble should go like this: Entrant 1, Sin Cara; Entrant 2, Sin Cara; Entrant 3, Sin Cara; Entrant 4, Sin Cara; Entrant 5, Sin Cara Negro; Entrant 6, Booker Sin Cara; Entrant 7, Sin Cara, disguised as Brodus Clay; and then Entrant 7, Botchy. Damn it, I thought I was going to get through all 30.
Oh my god, Red. It'd be great if you actually attempted to headbutt him into the Gulf of Mexico,
Okay.
and he botched it and landed in the sand.
Okay, so other team members, please message me your picks to see who you believe won this Defend the Indefensible and is the new champion of the world. Okay, we have all of our votes are in, and
Maffew's gone for a piss. So
all of our votes are in, and in a landslide, the winner of Shoot Promo is, drum roll please,
Drum,
Bryan Alvarez. That's
Wait, what?
legitimately. Yes, Bryan Alvarez, your shoot promo champion.
I knew it the whole time.
No!
I was hoping he would appear like Professor Frink at the end of the Simpsons episode, going, no, wait, no, please, I've still got a second.
Okay, so I think this is a first in our history. The winner didn't even need to turn up to win. So, well,
Is that actually they all voted?
yes, they all voted for Bryan Alvarez. And in legit
Sensational.
answers, we have a two-way tie. RedMachineD needs to give me his legitimate vote.
No, I think that's fine. I think Bryan Alvarez should win without turning up.
I think so too. So, ladies and gentlemen, your winner and the new shoot promo champion, Bryan Alvarez.
This was not a gigantic waste of time for me then. I'm so very, very happy.
So, ladies and gentlemen, let us say hello to our goodbye, our teams. First up, shoot promo no stars, OmegaBR.
I'd just like to say thanks to Maffew once again for being with us and providing us with all the entertainment that Botchamaniac gives. And Cobra, you really didn't have to try to impress him by botching the whole show. I think he likes us already.
Oh,
I like OmegaBR.
RedMachineD.
I was actually paying so much attention while trying not to pay attention that I accidentally deleted my call in WWE 12.
Leave
And
the
WindowDump?
memories alone. Yeah, I want to give a shout out to former roommate The Fizz, who got me into wrestling in the first place. Look at me, I'm on a bad podcast with Maffew, and all you do is make endings for him.
Sorry. And our winners, Mintzs.
I just opened up one of my Christmas presents there. It was Cluedo Gang Rape Edition. Turns out we're on it.
And, well, I was going to
Maffew's
say
just left.
Maffew, but he's just left.
He's Bryan Alvarez.
it was him, Austin.
Hang
It
on,
was
I can
him.
pretend to be Maffew. Hang on.
Oh God. Oh God. What?
Here we go. I'm very, very northern, and I'm going to Magfest, so please come and see me at Magfest and watch Botchamaniac. I can't do an impression of Maffew, I'm sorry.
Wait a minute, who just showed up?
It's Bryan Alvarez. Well, he's like interrupting Pyro.
This is so awkward.
This is a bit different, isn't it? Oh, congratulations. You won. And Reddington.
This is so bizarre. Hello, I can hear myself twice. Yeah. Hi. Okay.
And
Well,
I
I don't know what happened, but I had a power cut.
This is the greatest moment in Shoot
It's
Promo
a screening.
history.
Bryan Alvarez.
Is he actually here?
Is that really him?
I have a power cut and
believe-
Bryan Alvarez appears. Did you
I
want to
believe
see
I'm
if
here.
TARDIS?
He's really here.
God.
Well, congratulations, Mr. Alvarez. You're this week's Shoot Promo winner. I was your host, Cobra T. Washington. Mintzs, stop the recording!
What's the difference between Drew McIntyre and this episode of Shoot Promo? This episode of Shoot Promo is over. Points have been tallied and the promos are shot. The winner is clear whether you like it or not. So everybody get your stuff and go. Like Jeff Hardy going anywhere that there's blow. Like Sin Cara going back to Mexico. Like nobody going to an IWA Mid-South show. It's Shoot Promo, Shoot Promo, Shoot Promo, Shoot Promo, yeah, yeah, yeah. See you next time.